I'm super annoyed right now because this light went out. How am I supposed to get to this light? How?
Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
We all know this is bullshit.
Sweetie, remember this?
I live alone and I own my own home, and I've never had to call a man to help with any repairs. My female best friend and I installed new flooring in all the bedrooms. I work in production and I can operate anything from a simple power drill to a hammer drill. I can operate a scissor lift and a forklift. I'm also incredibly resourceful.
You have been weighed, you have been measured, and you have been found wanting.
Gotta be brutally honest with me, you might never get what you want.
Can you imagine the chaos that would unfold around the world, even in just modern cities, if all guys, especially the road workers, the telecom department, the infrastructure, the guys that do all those jobs, if all stood up and said, "I'm not going to work for a month. I'm going to take a month off." You watch the chaos that would unfold because women wouldn't have a clue. Let's face it, they can't live without their little phones. A lot of women online just date to get financial benefits, be it a dinner, various forms of entertainment, boat access, beach house access, live entertainment, etc., not a substantive emotional and shared life relationship. So perhaps that's how guys should look at it. Enjoy life and the relationships while they last. This is more for older guys than young men who want to start a family. Having kids requires commitment. The problem with a lot of young women is that they don't want to be in a committed relationship, whatever that means. If you see most videos online about women talking about how they don't need men, you'll notice that they're usually drunk women and party girls saying we don't need men speaking on pure emotion and not thinking through what they're saying. I think we need each other, but women are being taught that admitting that men are needed is an admittance of weakness. We were meant to complement each other, not compete against one another. The ones saying we don't need men, I guarantee you they were sleeping around hooking up with Chad and Tyrone. They've been dumped and replaced by someone younger and hotter now. They're into their feelings all butthurt and bitter. They've made their bed, now lay in it just there, just mad that the guys they want won't be tied down to them. They've had men in their lives who wanted a serious relationship, but they are invisible, bypassed, and friend-zoned.
Honestly, I really don't give a rat's ass. If the male species is depleting, okay.
What?
You guys have had your time to shine. If you guys want to get better, you guys can do that yourselves, but I'm not going to get you out of the slump. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, it's just like, I don't really care. Like, that's on you guys. If you guys aren't, like, working or not going to college, then I don't know how to fix that. I am. So I don't know why you aren't.
The reality is that women haven't changed. They have always been this way. The only that's changed is there are no immediate consequences for their behavior. Why do you think one of the most important bits of advice passport bros give is, don't bring them here? If women from traditional countries were any different, then it shouldn't matter where they live. Why do you think certain Islamic countries fight so hard against Western influence? I think we need to get past the need for some women to constantly make everything about themselves. The topic was about today's male youth having less confidence and drive than their predecessors, and these girls immediately managed to turn the issue around to them being oppressed and being self-reliant. Is it possible for them to talk about something without finding some way to turn the issue around to themselves? Where we've gone wrong is we let feminism have more than it should and have pushed men's needs and wants to the side. So, women think they can do it all alone. And realistically, let women that think that have that, and let them die alone miserably. And women like that who don't care about men's struggles should end up alone. That's what she deserves.
I love men. Like, I think men are the coolest, but I don't need them to survive.
Yeah.
But I love men.
I have to come in on this. You do actually need men to survive. And here's why. Everything that you see around you was built and created and maintained by men.
Okay.
Everything. The infrastructure in this country, in every single country in the world, is built, created, and maintained by good, honest, hardworking men that just want to provide for their family.
Okay.
Everything. The roads you drive on, the buildings you live in, the restaurant, everything.
The dirty work.
If all men were to disappear, it would be chaos.
Yeah,
I don't
That
know.
would
I don't
be
think
really
that's what she said.
interesting.
Yeah, no, I don't think that all men should die. I don't think that women are better than men. I don't think that like any of that. I think men are great. It's just I don't have to fight for your guys' struggles.
The girl saying that she won't fight for men's struggles is not marriage material. She is exactly the kind of girl who will ask her man to open up and be vulnerable with her, then dump him when he does. She will say things like, "I'm not your mom." And this is important because men today have been raised by a generation where their moms were the only people they could be vulnerable in front of. So when they are looking for a wife, they are looking for someone that they can open up to and confide in. But more and more women are shutting that down because they want a masculine guy. So men are back to the age-old stuff your feelings until you die sort of mindset. If men are being forced to fulfill the traditional gender roles, then those men are going to want to force women to fulfill those traditional gender roles. That's not the road we should be going down. Men are valued upon their ability to provide, based on what utilitarian ends they satisfy. As someone who's already struggling with mental illness or loneliness, the pressure to perform and outperform others to earn conditional respect and dignified treatment of society comes at a heavy cost to their well-being. The last thing you want to be in this world is an unaccomplished man with no social safety net. Men provide a sense of security, period. It's not just a break-in, it's going out and feeling safer, or when you have to go to the mechanic, etc. Men also provide, fix things, lift things, and don't lie about needing men for sex, because so many times she says, "I've missed it," or "I just needed it." Besides, the internal clock is real, nesting is real, hormones are real, the way we're all wired to reproduce is real. You can't think away your basic programming. It's there, some just choose to ignore it. If we never thought, like it all, we'd still instinctually have sex, want to be held, protected, loved, even if we couldn't verbalize it, express it, or rationalize it. You can feel so intelligent you can tell yourself you don't need it or want it, but it's there. It's call humanity/biology. The degradation of marriage has escalated so far that in none of these discussions does anyone consider the joy and gift of pair bonding with a single mate to ensure the continuation of shared values to the next generation. We need to overhaul what constitutes good reasons for marriage, so they include this, which is a far deeper and older reason for marriage to exist, and it doesn't deserve to be deleted from contemporary relationships. These arguments and conversations about feminism are becoming a little bit toxic and confusing in some sense. I admire the way some women view the world nowadays, so the idea of commitment now is out of many women's agenda due to the fact that they live in developed societies where equal pay is a topic and where information is abundant and available, but is not being processed accordingly and correctly. Today, now more than ever, it's crucial for modern women around the world to realize that life's not just about making money, generating wealth, starting businesses, and climbing the corporate ladder. Because women have the leverage of not doing any of that, and still live the best lives with their partners who are happy to be providers, and even happier when they have wives who give birth to beautiful children, and together, they raise their families. I think there's a reason people were happier back in the day, and I think that the reason was that people used to stick to certain roles in life and not get worked up on chasing things that they weren't meant to chase. In fact, a man and a woman will always find a manner to be together regardless of these new movements, such as feminism. The balance or equilibrium on Earth is needed to ensure human race does not go extinct. And I guess this is why the universe will always make a way for men and women to coexist. However, with modern women thinking they can do it all without men, who knows what's going to happen? It just doesn't make sense to think that women cleaning their house when they have a husband is oppressive. It also doesn't make sense that somehow women doing a 9-to-5 working some old person doing their chores in an office setting is somehow them being independent and strong. I guess, as I've said before, this is what feminism has done over the years. That's how it changed the mindsets of women in society regarding work and marriage. And in the end, we have masculine women over 30 and 40 who have hit the wall, but society tells them they're strong and independent, while they silently suffer inside knowing full well that they're not happy with that, and that they might be living the rest of their lives alone. It has to be a pretty miserable existence to wake up at 40 years old and realize the best part of your life was when you were in high school and maybe a few years after. They thought it would never end, that they could just wade through man after man until they found the perfect man. That's never going to happen, and now they know it. Dealing with a masculine woman is like dealing with a very insecure man. It's like a person who is always trying to prove a point, even when she doesn't even need to. always trying to prove themselves, and they take offense at everything. Women in their late 30s and 40s completely forgot how they acted when they had the advantage. They didn't think the men they rejected may have been a healthy long-term relationship. Chads are gone, average Joe honored their request, and all they have is their equally lonely friends. The truth is, in its quest to free women from not being in authoritative positions, feminism has taken away the feminine qualities in women. Women now strive to inculcate masculine qualities in them so that they can compete with men at the corporate level. All of this has led to an imbalance in the dating landscape that has resulted in men going their own way and not committing to women long-term, while women are choosing their careers instead and are only realizing that they can never become like men. Because a man can live his life alone, a woman can't. It's a bitter reality. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Support us and help us spread support for men around the world. Do comment and share your thoughts. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.